Hello and welcome back to Asia Now. My name is Alex. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and in this video I'll tell you about foreign influencer put in jail, cat killer arrested, Australia issues travel advisory for the Philippines, local government says Boracay is safe after body of foreign national was found in an abandoned chapel, plus much more. I'd like to begin by thanking a couple people who have bought me a coffee. Black Wonder has bought me a coffee and he says, "You inspire me to create videos on my channel. Hope to buy you a real coffee in person someday." And Paul, a big supporter of the channel, has gone ahead and bought me 10 coffees. Thank you so much, Paul. If you guys don't know, Buy Me Coffee is a site where you can buy me a virtual coffee to show some extra love. If you guys are in that position or want to show me some extra support, you can go ahead and scan this QR code. I've also left a link in the description down below if you're in the mood to go ahead and buy me a virtual coffee. Here's our top story. A British TikTok influencer, Ellis Matthews, has been detained in Thailand for overstaying her visa, ending her once illicit life abroad. The 32-year-old, originally from Lancashire, gained notoriety on social media under the account at whatever, where she showcased her luxury lifestyle while allegedly claiming UK benefits. Matthews, who left the UK 4 years ago, claimed she was receiving £2,300, that's over 100,000 baht per month, in disability benefits, citing multiple mental health conditions. However, her online boasts include flashing cash and discussing loopholes for claiming benefits while abroad, sparked controversy in the UK. Authorities typically restricted such payments outside approved countries, and Thailand is not on the list. Her arrest followed a police raid on her Pattaya home, where she was found to have overstayed her visa. Now in a Thai detention center, Matthews has shared footage of her grim conditions, appealing for support. Meanwhile, a GoFundMe campaign allegedly created without her consent has raised £150. Despite her claims of hardship, skepticism surrounds her situation due to her past legal troubles in the UK, including a drunk driving conviction in 2020. Another reason why pretty girl privilege exists, and as long as men keep donating, I know it's men, it's not women for sure, and as long as men keep donating to influencers like this and supporting this kind of stuff, it's going to continue to happen. Women, I would say, have it very easy when it comes to certain things. All they got to do is point a camera and it's going to be a line of men just throwing money at their inbox. Hey, I guess if you can use that to your benefit, why not? The one thing that does bother me is the disability thing. I know a lot of people get rejected with like legit conditions. So if the allegations are true, kind of shady, because in the Canada, I was going to say the US, and Canada is similar. Basically, I just got to say I'm depressed and such, and I might get some kind of benefits. Let's get into our next story. And then, Bureau of Immigration arrests alleged Chinese cat... Alleged? No. Let me go ahead and correct that. Bureau of Immigration has arrested Chinese cat killer for overstaying in the country. So the Bureau of Immigration said it had arrested the Chinese man who went viral after video showing that he kicked a cat until it passed away in Makati. In a statement on March 13th, the BI said the man, identified as 33-year-old Jiang Shen, was arrested in front of his residence in Barangay Palanan after being found to be overstaying. According to the BI records, Jiang arrived as a tourist in May 2023 but hasn't extended his visa since September of last year. He wasn't able to present any documentation to the immigration's after being arrested. Quote, he was immediately taken into custody, booked, and transferred to the BI's facility in Bukutan, Taguig, while he faces his deportation case, the agency said. BI Commissioner Joe Anthony Viado told foreign nationals to respect Philippines laws during the stay. Yeah, how about respecting some animals too? Filipinos are known to be very hospitable to guests, he said, but guests should not come to our houses kicking our pets. His cruel action led to BI conduct checks on his records, and now he's detained to be deported, he added. The incident happened at Ayala Triangle Gardens Park, where Jiang was seen allegedly, why do you keep saying allegedly? He was seen kicking the community cat named Ken, who was peacefully resting on a walkway. The cat succumbed to his injuries later on. When confronted afterwards, Jiang was reportedly arrogant and refused to give any information and said to go ahead and contact the embassy. And if found guilty, he would be facing anywhere from 6 months to 2 years, and fine ranged from 1,000 to 5,000 pesos. Amazing news, they got him, but I haven't seen anyone said... Somebody said they haven't filed charges or anything and they're going to deport him because nobody in that community has filed a formal charge against him. Yeah, somebody get on that. Whoever's living in that area, file charges against this idiot. I hope they don't just simply deport him. He needs to spend some time in prison and maybe think about how he treats living creatures, innocent ones too, for no reason. What's wrong with you, man? And why do you keep saying allegedly? There's a clear video of him kicking a cat, like booting it. Like, come on, man. I don't even know if this video is going to get demonetized because it's graphic, but whatever, man. This guy did what he did. Idiot. Just really quickly, the USD to peso exchange rate not looking too favorable for US dollar and US earners, I should say. Yeah, right now $1 equal to 57.17. Hopefully that climbs back up in the near future. Next up, Australia issued a travel advisory on March 12, 2025, urging its nationals to exercise caution when traveling to the Philippines due to an increased risk of demonstrations and civil unrest following recent events. The advisory comes to the wake of the arrest of the former president, Rodrigo Duterte, on the morning of March 11th at the Naya airport following the issuance of the International Criminal Court's warrant. One thing to mention, these advisories can have a significant impact on tourism. A lot of citizens follow the government advisory where to go, where not to go. And although at first hearing it may not seem like a big deal, it can lead to severe consequences for that country getting issued that advisory. Hopefully this doesn't have too much of... Actually, I can't even say that because if it's a government advisory, I'm sure they have the reasonings. I don't want to tell people to come or not to come. So I suggest you follow your government's recommendations, because sometimes if something does happen to you, they may not have the resources to assist you, and they're going to be like, well, we told you not to go there or whatever, right? We often hear about embassies not being able to assist people in very dire circumstances. Next up, Mr. Abalos, the former Department of Interior and Local Government Secretary, reassured the public that the discovery of the Slovak tourist body in Boracay is an isolated incident. Michaela Mikova, 23, was found not alive in an abandoned chapel on March 12th, 2 days after being reported missing. Abalos emphasized that this is the first such case involving a tourist on the island, highlighting Boracay's safety and welcoming nature for travelers. He assured that authorities in the Western Visayas are thoroughly investigating the passing, which he condemned. In the strongest terms, Abalos noted that the crimes like this are extremely rare in Boracay. Next up, a Filipino seafarer has gone missing following a maritime collision between a chemical tanker and a container ship off the northeast coast of England. The Department of Migrant Workers confirmed the incident after receiving reports from the licensed manning agency. I hope they find that man. And then Singapore Airlines and its subsidiary low-cost airline Scoot are banning the use of charging and power banks during flights beginning April 1st. A passenger may neither be allowed to charge the power banks through onboard USB ports, nor use the power bank to charge portable devices. Alright, so if you guys are traveling using those airlines, ensure that you're not doing any of that. I'm not even sure if they're going to allow you to carry a power bank in your carry-on on a flight. I know it's got to be a certain, like, what is that, milliamp or whatever, but now maybe they won't even allow you to do that, so I'll double check if I was you guys flying through Scoot or Singapore Airlines. And lastly, Pakistani forces were in a tense standoff Wednesday with hundreds of militants holding about 250 people hostage on a train they had hijacked in a remote southwest. Some crazy stuff, and now it's time for our segment Yesterday Today, where I read some of the most popular comments regarding our previous video. Randy says, the guy selling the water is a future help me problem. What happens when the water runs dry? Speaking of that, I'm going to go see if I can find him. Right after this, I know his location based on yesterday's report that came in. I want to see if he wants to sit for an interview with me for living abroad. And before you guys say, oh, I'm going to out him. No, people know where he's at. The major news networks have covered it. So it's not like I'm going to just basically put him on blast. Gary in the Philippines said, once survives with money, it means something. For him to think that he didn't need to prioritize this in his life clearly indicates that his fantasy mode is most important to him, to each its own. And that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate your support. And a lot of you guys have been commenting recently a lot. And if you're new to the channel, stuck around this long, perhaps you can consider subscribing and just taking a second out of your day, clicking that button. I'm making my way up to 9,000 subscribers. One more 1,000, I'll reach my goal, which is amazing. So thank you guys for watching. Once again, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. You know, some of those regions have some of the blah, 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 blah.